FOCUS stands for Follow One Course Until Successful. I've been touring and recording music since the year 2000, and I quit my job in 2004 to pursue music full-time. I failed music in school, so I like to think God has a sense of humor. I was probably one of the worst rappers or singers you ever heard, but I was willing to surround myself with artists and producers who were better than me. I took mental notes and applied every skill I could learn to my songwriting and performances. Even when I signed to a record label, I always stayed independent-minded because I knew I was the architect of my destiny. A record label is just a partner to help artists on their journey. Signing a record deal with a label is not the destination. The album isn't dead, and I don't think it will ever die, but we've moved into a singles economy. Promotion, how to make a ruckus with every song, and when to release songs. I want to talk to you about why, when it comes to getting your music on Spotify, you should release multiple singles leading up to your full-length album. Releasing a song via Spotify allows artists to submit their song to the Spotify curators who review your song for a chance to be added to a Spotify editorial playlist. If you upload your whole album, you'll only be able to submit one song off that album to the curators. So if you have a 10-song album, you can't submit the other 9 songs. That's why I prefer to release each song individually leading up to the album as a single. So each song has a chance of being added to a Spotify editorial playlist. You need to start making every song you release a big deal. With your first album, you probably had a CD release party. You need to start making a party for every song and put in the same amount of effort that you would for an album, but into the launch of your single so they can make a ruckus around it. You have to give Spotify and their editorial team at least 11 days after you submit your song to be reviewed. I encourage you to submit your song at least a month ahead because you want to give Spotify's team a reasonable lead time to listen to it. They need the lead time because they get 48,000 songs uploaded daily. And any song you release should have a thorough launch plan to maximize the exposure. You invested your time in the songwriting, the mixing, the mastering, and the album work, so you don't want to just rush it out to the public just because you got the master back the night before. You want to plan to make as big a splash as possible and much noise around that song. I released my most recent album, This Is Not the End, using my Spotify Profit single method. I released the first song in January, another one in March, and then a new song off the upcoming album almost every month until the album came out. By the time the album dropped on Friday, December 13th, we had released 7 songs as singles. That's 7 different songs that were submitted to Spotify's editorial team in consideration for those editorial playlists. Out of the 7 songs submitted, I think 5 of them made editorial playlists. Then when it came time to release the album, we submitted a song called Born for This, which also got on an editorial playlist. That's a total of 8 opportunities from one album that we were able to submit for a chance to get on an editorial playlist while also smashing the release radar and making noise about every single song. If I had just released one single and then the album, I'd have only had 2 chances to submit to the editorial playlists, plus I would have only promoted 2 songs, and then I'd have to just keep promoting the album. But this allowed me to make a ruckus and talk about every single song leading up to the album. Plus, we released artwork and caused a ruckus for every song I released. If you are just releasing songs and not promoting or marketing each song in between releases, you are not going to grow your fan base nearly as fast as you could. I promote every song I release hard for a couple of months so my fan base grows in between each song. You should wait another month or so, release another song, promote the junk out of that one, and then release another one and then another one. Hopefully each song gets on another playlist and you gain thousands and thousands of more streams, more views, pushing the song to your fans, getting it out there. Every song you release deserves its own promotional campaign. And you got to understand that you don't want to just release another song and not have grown your fan base. And that's why you should be marketing in between every single song so that your fan base grows in between each song release. You don't want to just keep